So I want to pose a question. Uh, Cloud Jones, I'd like you to start, if you would. Pretty much, Ruth made an interesting point. She said that it's more than likely going to be women who behave like this. If Shannon Rawls were here tonight, he would absolutely quote, I think it's quote Coach Greg Adams, and he would say, "Men are in love, women are in business." Do you think that women have a higher propensity to behave like this versus men? Do you think that the outcome would be similar if men in general had this opportunity?
Um, I Yes, I believe women are more likely to do this, and no, I don't believe the outcomes would be similar if men had the same opportunity. I just think that the way men and women have been conditioned, I think men have conditioned to be self-sacrificial when it comes to dealing with women, when it comes to dealing with a woman's feelings, when it comes to dealing with money, when it comes to dealing with most situations. Even if you think of the idea of chivalry, it's like you're supposed to take off your brand new coat and put it in a puddle just so that she won't get her feet dirty, you know? So when you look at that concept and how that's beat into young boys' minds, you got those little nursery rhymes like girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, and boys are made of snout snails and puppy dogs' tails. You know, when you have that imprinted on the mind state from a young age, it creates an environment where women kind of do feel entitled to whatever it is that they want, whatever it is that their emotions feel. I mean, even when you hear a lot of women today talk about dating, you know, even to men they're not married to, they have this expectation often, not all obviously, but many women have an expectation that or an entitlement to that man's finances. You know, if we're going out, he's supposed to pay. He's supposed to pay for my bills. If I have kids, he's supposed to pay a babysitter. And there just seems to be this idea bred into women or conditioned into women that they feel like whatever we have is supposed to belong to them, you know, if we like them, you know, if we care about them and all, it's supposed to belong to them. But if they care about us, there's not really anything that they're supposed to be giving us, nor are we conditioned to consider that there's supposed to be something that we're getting from them. So when we're put in these situations where we can take advantage, especially financially, a lot of times men will just be like, "Nah, I'll pay for it. I'll cover it." You know, or I'm good. I don't need her money. You know, I'm a real man. I don't need nothing from a woman. You know what I mean? That's like the attitude that's bred into us. So yeah, we usually decline to take advantage in certain circumstances, and women will often get whatever they can get, in my experience.
Ruth, I see your hand raised. Go ahead.
Can I clarify something? I do believe there's a lot of good women. Um,
Mhm.
However, I think that they're the ones that stay married. They're the ones that's not going for the divorce. The ones that
Mhm.
wouldn't take the money, the one that wouldn't take advantage of the situation, they just stay in the marriage and do what they got to do. That's what I think.
Okay. Mistaken, what say you? Because I think you're going to emphatically disagree with Mr. Cloud Jones based on what you said previously.
why, why are you assuming? You're
I could
so
be
right.
wrong.
Um, now, I think men don't take advantage partly because of what the guy explained. They're not knowledgeable, right? They don't necessarily want to, eh, they don't want to take the time and effort that it would take to actually learn about all of that. And I just find that across the board, not just with situations like this, but sometimes with men in general, they want the least way out of doing things. So if it's going to cause a hassle, I'm going to have to put in extra work to figure this out and do all of these. They'll rather just say, all right, just F it. Let's just get the divorce. It's done. It's over with. Boom, boom. I'm ready to move on. So I do think if they took the time, if time wasn't an issue of doing the research to learn all of these things, I do think that they would take advantage because the men that do, they receive. So that's the only difference that I would say in between that is are you going to be willing to put in a work? Women are going to be willing to put in that work. I don't think a lot of men do though.
So
So
mistaken.
can I just reply to that,
So hold
please?
on, hold on.
My bad, because I have my.
Cloud. I wanted Marcus to respond, but I'm gonna let you go real quick first, and then I'm gonna let Marcus respond because I saw he made some strange faces before. But I'll let you go ahead real quick
Yeah,
because she was replying directly to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to argue against that and say essentially, like, one could argue that the reason why women are more knowledgeable about things is because they're more predatory. So you could say that maybe men are not willing to put the effort in, but really what it is that men aren't looking for ways to take advantage and they're not looking for loopholes. So someone who's looking for a way to take advantage or wiggle their way out of a contract is going to scrutinize that contract from top to bottom to find any type of loophole they can. So I think that you saying that actually proves or actually furthers the idea that women are more predatory in nature.
It all
Marcus, go
depends.
ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I
We're
was
gonna
going to
come back
respond
around
to
to you,
what
Miss
you
Nichols.
said, but go ahead. Let Marcus go.
And I'm going
That's
to Coco. Coco, you up right after Marcus.
That's kind of the thought I was having. Like it was framed like women are putting in the work to take advantage of somebody. That's kind of crazy. That's not putting in the work. That's just predatory, like Klaus said. Like if a man was doing that, that'd be predatory. That's not nothing to like say you working hard at it. You working hard and defrauding somebody and finessing somebody you supposed to have love. That's crazy to me. I just can't ever get behind that in any, yeah. But yeah, Cloud pretty much touched on all of it.
Can I just clarify
Yeah.
that one?
All right, go ahead. You can clarify what you were saying. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is when you are married, there's a level, everybody, especially I think like I forgot who was saying like after 10 years, that is typically the mark in which I think you automatically get 50-50 if there wasn't things in place prior to you getting married. What I've seen just firsthand myself in like my parents getting divorced and friends that I know that have gotten divorced, a lot of times what happens is two things that I see. Either a man don't fight it because he feels guilty because of what he's done in the divorce that has led them to the divorce. So the fight isn't there. It's just like, all right, it's on me or whatever. And they just suck it up. The other thing is when it's 50-50, that's where I've seen more men fight. Like, I've done X, Y, and Z and start naming all of this stuff that they feel that is theirs because they did this work and felt like the woman didn't necessarily put in as much work, so they shouldn't be entitled. So that's the part that I've seen. So when I'm saying when a woman is looking through stuff to see what she's entitled to, I'm speaking from an experience and seeing my parents divorce, who were married 20 something years. And my dad was like, she shouldn't be entitled to half of all of this. And they pretty much I would say she contributed a little more when it comes to the kids and stuff like that. But in terms of financially, they were neck and neck. So she should have been entitled to half, but he was fighting for her to get half. But my mom did her due diligence to make sure that she got everything that she was supposed to get. I'm not talking about taking advantage of other people, like in that scenario.
Coco Chanel, imagine you heard most of it, but even if you want to just give your initial thoughts because you weren't afforded the opportunity, go ahead.
Well, everybody landed on everything, and that's what I was trying to say before. You guys couldn't hear me. I agree with everybody, but also we have to. Recently, my first cousin, my aunt passed away, which is her mom, and her brother was, I guess, I don't know. For some reason, my aunt thought that she'll give everything to the oldest child, and he figured things out since he's older. Well, he ain't giving her nothing. And they ain't talked for 1.5 years ever since she passed away. And he done started a business and everything, like ain't gave her nothing. So, you have to be mindful of who if you do a will. That's what I would say. I used to work at Bank of America USAA. Ironclad, you get married, you get an ironclad prenup. I don't care if it's just something as simple as if I got $10 in my account, I'm taking $10 in my account when I leave. Just have something in writing, and be very specific, because when watching this happen with my family, we don't have problems or issues like that. And it's just kind of shocking to see it happening, because it's like, I mean, we all grew up together and never thought that would happen. But when somebody get a bag, it's just, you just see a different person. So it's not, I don't want to just only focus on marriage, because when you sign it over to your family, now you got, same with my mom, my sister. I have a twin sister and an older brother. for some reason, my mom feels like I'm old, I'm the more mature one to, handle things if, if she was to pass away. But, who knows? My sister, you just don't know how life goes. But when you hand it over and just say, I want to make sure my son, and, you got multiple kids, just be very specific on everything from the beginning all the way to the end. And that's going to help everything regardless. Otherwise, if you don't have nothing in writing, it's going to be a default. Whoever the last person that was married to, and that's how this happened. I've seen that happen. One of my girlfriend's mother, she wasn't intentional, but she just got a call one day after being divorced for 7 years and her husband passed away, and she had a life insurance policy and everything. They had a divorce and everything, but he never took her off the life insurance policy. But apparently he never wanted to. He, that was something because they had kids together. Like that was something that he wanted to give her. But, just be very specific when you're separating someone in a divorce. It just made me think about my divorce because my ex-husband, when I was going through my divorce, his lawyer has so much paperwork and I'm going through it. And I'm like, his lawyer had, in 40 years from now, when he has a 401k, please sign off that you don't want it. Like it was so much that his lawyer was trying to make sure if I, don't even exist, don't pop up with nothing because you ain't getting it. So it's pretty that simple. Sometimes people jump up and get married and they don't think about who they're marrying, what that means. So I'll just end on that part.